Mind your ears as I boot this up. Let's get right into it. New golem music? Great. All right. We're starting quite late tonight. I actually meant to start earlier today. I had said yesterday, I think I said I was going to start early today. But I guess I lied. So I guess that was a lie. But it's fine. What we'll do is we'll read, and by read we mean fast forward through Higurashi Omote. And if we get super far into it very quickly, then maybe, just maybe, we'll play like an hour of Silksong. But if not, if we just have like 2 hours here where we fast forward through Higurashi Omote, Miotsukushi Omote, I guess I should call it. That's probably the more accurate term, right? Then that would be fine too. I'm okay with that. The Blitz experience that we all enjoy here. Get ready to fast forward. No, you know what you should do? For a truly fast forward experience, we're fast forwarding through the dialogue, and then on the VOD on YouTube, set me to like 2 times speed if you're really feeling like it. 1.5 if you want to stay in the safe zone, but set me to like 2 times speed. Then you're playing with power. Naturally, Sunday came to a close and Monday arrived. This is perfect. This feels so good. I'm not some mayo lover. Now, is that very funny that it stopped right there? Yes. I would assume any scene that doesn't really have a lot of Rika, or now we've learned Satoko in it, where they changed the voices, seemingly, for a couple lines, means that we will have even less stops. But it's very important we see that Keiichi, here in the difference. He must not have said that he's a mayo lover in the other verse we read. I'm not some mayo lover. Very important line there. Note that difference, write it down. You will be tested. You will be tested. That will be on the test. Hope everyone's playing along at home. Oh. Sorry. I take my hand off the mouse when it's fast forwarding, so I have to reestablish where I'm at. Me, it's nothing. Keiichi, you mind if I have that cider? Huh? Sure. Here. Have that cider. As I said that I swapped my cider for her grape juice bottle, the sweet, mellow scent that I hadn't tasted in such a long time was soothing on my sweaty body in the heat of the sun. Gave her cider. Okay. Then, if that same Satoko was going to be badly hurt in the near future, what would you do? Oh, hell yeah. It's Pink Rena. Rika-chan drank a slightly strained gulp of cider after saying that. The cider must be the difference. We see the culprit. Oh, okay, we're not gonna pick the bad endings here. I refuse. Keiichi must think me a cold woman. Keiichi.
だみどうやみ
ま
み
Perfect. Rika-chan and I arrived at the location we discussed with Shion over the phone.
ケイチ
それにしてもで
Alright, so we're meeting with Shion. I remember this.
そのことを直接的
C に暴走をさせないことも今日の話では大事なことなのですよ。
And as a result, Teppei will return to the Hojo household and take Satoko back for his own livelihood.
ど
み
すぐシオン
お待たせ僕た
どえ
さよリカちゃんまあとりあえずこ
あそれが
Do you know someone named Rina?
何ですかいきなり
Huh? What's this all of a sudden?
かさよ
マミヤ
リナ
だい
あ
僕どなうだ
詳しく
だから
待ってはねことが大きいだけにそれがはっきりしないと悪いですけど言う通りには従えませんよ。
Ask Kasai-san about Rina's situation. I do recall all this. I turned the argument around and asked Kasai-san about it.
はい
Just as I thought, feeling reassured by his answer, I leaned forward to hear more.
あ
言ってる
そ
どうしてケイちゃんたちはそのリナなんて悪徳人を助けてやろうって考えたんですか？
I became invested after talking with Rika-chan.
リカちゃんに相談を受けてさ
Rika-chan spoke to me about it.
なん
新章出売
て
よ
いや
それどこのテレなんでもないです。
Shion shook her head and shrugged her shoulders with a bitter smile on her face. Then she took a drink of her completely melted ice water to calm herself down.
それはそうとどうやってなかったことにするつもりですか？
Anyway, how do you plan to accomplish this without resorting to that?
た今日中に
はあ
あ
うっそ
Suddenly, past memories revived in the back of Shion's mind. Come to think of it, she tasted the exact same feeling when she escaped from Lucia last year. Her mind went completely blank when she struggled to turn the keys.
あれ
いやいや
それ
よろしくお願いします。
今日は
竜ここであれが来るなんて
So, that is happening here too.
神様はやっぱり性悪なのでしょうか？
Can God really be so cruel? Squeeze noise. Does that say moving blunder?
ここにあった荷物誰か知らないか
Huh? Does anyone know anything about the package that was here? Bam. That was a good tip. Good tip. It wasn't like it was her fault.
リカちゃんにもでき
それ本当かだから当然じゃ
でそんなレナがもけ
それ
そう
あそれ
信頼なく
だ
本当に不幸な人はまだ
リカちゃんそれに失敗
Yeah, so fast.
前に見た時
So
より
fast.
さらにグレードアップしておりましたのよ。
It was upgraded even further from what I had witnessed before.
特にあの信号機なんてどうやって手に入れたのかしら。
Especially that traffic light. However did you manage to obtain one of those?
電波
俺も
今でもそれそうだよ。おしおき
Nice.
アスパラは豪華よしはい上がって
確かに
足がニョロニョロ
悪い実
なお父さんなんだろう
Do you know a woman named Rina Mamiya? Mamiya? Rina?
うん知ってるけど
Yeah, I know her.
それどういう意味かな。
Rina, what do you think of her?
どうって、それはどういう意味かな、リカちゃん。
Why do you ask? What do you mean by that, Rika-chan?
でも
Rika-chan?
けど、もしかして一人だと不安だからリカちゃんを付き添いに連れて。
I'm the one who told Keiichi.
リカちゃんがどうして？
Rika-chan, why? Rika-chan.
話
だから
I remember to get myself water before this. It's hard work watching the text go super quickly.
おいリカちゃん。
だって
レナ。わ
Fear and anxiety, so painful that it makes you want to run away. Even I can understand how hard it is to have the courage to take a step forward.
ケイチ。
お荷物どちらに運びましょうか。
The firm voice of a delivery man echoed all the way up to the second floor. Rika and I looked at one another as we heard it.
一体何が。
I looked up at the ceiling as I muttered that to myself, and suddenly a scene emerged in my mind. A scene from that time, when I feared the being known as Oyashiro-sama, when I no longer knew what was right and couldn't bring myself to trust anything. And when I was devastated and tormented by that sinful mistake, the person who was kind enough to extend it a precious hand. That's wrong, typo, or a grammar error. The person who was kind enough to extend, not did, a precious hand to me was, no doubt about it,
この無責任男。
you irresponsible boy. The drugs she had been taking before that were simply incapable of suppressing that level of progression. At one point, she was even given a high-risk prognosis. Nevertheless, Reina was fortunate that after she returned to Hinamizawa, she was selected to receive treatment with a new drug that Iri had just developed, and to receive intensive care in Gogura.
ちゃん。これどうした。ちょっと見に遅くか。リカちゃん。
何これ、レナ。
ええ。
なんでかレなのに。
っていうより、あ、これそにレ
ケイチ。
そんなことな。
そうだよ。思い出して欲しかったの。
I wanted you to remember.
かつてに得たかけがえのない仲間たちへの信頼を
To trust in the irreplaceable friends you've made.
頼りたいと思うことを誰も迷惑には感じたりしない。それに気づいて欲しかった。でなければきっと後悔するから。
You won't inconvenience anyone by wanting a shoulder to lean on. I wanted you to realize that, because otherwise you'd end up regretting it.
ありがとう。あんたに
Bam. 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 We followed the road back to the shrine.
まあ。
だいみ
With how long some of these sections truly are, it feels good to just see them blitz by and then get the little Higurashi thing at the bottom and then like just quickly move to the next one. It's like we've done the work. Now reap the benefits. The Keiichi I knew wasn't this strong.
だから時には疑ったり恐れたりして結局
Sometimes he felt doubt and fear, and as a result,
リカちゃん。
ケイ
いいかな。
それ
代わりあなたを
ケイちゃんとに
覚えて。
まさかそれはきっとこの地上あなたは逃げなか
you
っ
didn't run away.
た。だから私は
That's why
本心から
I was
あ
able
な
to
たにそう言
sincerely
って
say
あげ
that
ら
to
れ
you.
たのよ。
あの時の言葉があったから、俺はあの時もレナを救えたんだと思う。
I think what you told me back then was the reason I was able to save Rina.
俺リカ
ずっと秘密にしておこうと思ったことあなたには打ち明けます。
I'll tell you what I've wanted to keep secret all this time.
だから救い出してくれますか？
And if I do, will you be able to save me?
この無限に続く地獄の輪廻の監獄から僕と大切な仲間たちを
From this hellish prison of endless reincarnation, me and my precious friends.
僕たちの敵は高野美代。
Our enemy is Mio Takano.
ひなみ沢で起きているたたりはすべて人為的に起こされた陰謀なのです。
All the events related to the curse in Hinamizawa are a product of a man-made conspiracy. That's another one done. Is there a shot that we, like, finish this tonight? Like, I'm trying to think back just how far or how long Omote is. And I'm still wondering if at some point... Or, you know, how long Miotsukushi is, I guess I should say. And I'm trying to think, is there a point... Is, like, there's still a high possibility that there might be a huge, like, inserted section. Like, I would not be surprised if there's a big stretch where we do, instead of just reading every line every once in a while, like, we have to read, like a normal, like, stretch, you know? That'd be my feeling. The numerical tables being drawn inside my head were rapidly changing like a swirling vortex.
これで天国と地獄が分かれるとなれば、誰だって時間をかけたくなるわ。
At this point, Rina, Satoko, and Rika-chan had gotten out too, leaving only Mion and myself. And then, Mion realized I had the 3 of diamonds in my hand, so she challenged me to an open reach duel. Open reach, meaning that the winner of the entire game would be decided by whether the card I draw here is the 3 of diamonds or not. Oh, we got some card game explanation? Uh-oh. Now, whether you'll end up laughing or crying, this is the end. Which will it be, left or right? Left.
俺にいや、俺目が悪くなったのかもしれないなって。
No, I think my eyesight must have just gotten worse.
ダイヤの3のカードを引いたのに、でっかく真っ黒なスペードのマークが上に重なって見えるんだよ。
Even though I grabbed the 3 of diamonds, there's a huge black spade marked on top of it. Mark on top of it, I mean.
おかしいな。
Once again, I could see a conspicuously huge spade mark on top of the 3 of diamonds card. This is what they call an afterimage, or a doppelganger. Or maybe, is it actually a case of Gestalt Zerfall? Gestalt Zerfall? Gestalt Zerfall? Yeah, that's it. It has to be it.
ケイちゃん、
Ki-chan?
現実を直視したくないって気持ちはほんのちょっとだけわかるけど、
I can kind of understand how you must feel not wanting to see reality.
それスペードのエース。
But that's the Ace of Spaces. Ace of Spaces?
でもスペードのエー
Ace
スだ
of
よ。
Spaces? But that really is the Ace of Spades? Question mark? Because it corrects itself to spades.
不幸の象徴なのですわ。
The symbol of misfortune.
どう見てもスペードですね、ケイちゃん。
No matter how you look at it, that's a spade, Ki-chan. Rina and Rika-chan, and even Shion, who had apparently just arrived, all acted like I was delusional.
俺は確かにダイヤの3をゲットしたんだ。
But in a modern nation governed by laws like Japan, decisions are made based on popular vote. And so, Mion was declared the victor and me, the loser. In the middle of that commotion, even I didn't notice as Mion secretly transferred the 3 of diamonds from her pocket to the pile of cards with an innocent expression on her face. Got him.
いや、それは喜ぶところなんだろうか。
Rina had been feeling out of it for a while since that incident, but she was finally getting back to normal by following Mion's lead. Well, that's nice, but Rina's punishment is still in there, so what could it be?
まあ、これ書いたの。
The air within the classroom shattered under the force of Mion's high-pitched, rage-filled roar. But when she noticed the way everyone was staring at her, she came back to her senses and then her face turned as red as an octopus.
富田。了解です。いつの間にシオンさん、富田さんと岡村さんを子分みたいに教育なされたのかしら。
Shion-san, since when did you have Tomita-san and Akamura-san trained like your own personal henchmen?
ここはか。
Nipa!
えてみれば私たち
Nipa!
これまでとんでもない人と遊んでいたのかもしれませんわね。
Come to think of it, we've been playing with one heck of a guy, haven't we? One heck of a guy.
どうしましたケイチ？
Me? What's wrong, Keiichi?
さあどうなのでしょうか。
Well, I wonder. Rikisha mischievously tilted her head to the side and quietly chuckled. I couldn't hide my confusion, but then she faintly spoke up with her eyes facing down.
確かに僕はあのカードをケイチに引かせたいと思いましたのです。
I certainly did want you to draw that card, Keiichi.
でも100枚以上の中から引き当てたのは他でもないあなたの力。
But the fact of the matter is, it was your own power that allowed you to draw it from among over 100 others.
それは偶然でも必然でもない。
It's neither an accident nor certain.
あなた自身が呼び寄せた強い縁なんだと思いますのです。
I think you summoned it yourself with your own strong bond.
僕も運命はあらかじめ用意されたものだとずっと思ってきました。
I've always believed that fate was predetermined.
でもあなたを見てきた今ならそれは違うとはっきり言えますのです。
But now, after seeing you, I can confidently say that's not the case.
きっと運命は人の意志の結晶のようなもの
I'm certain that fate is like a crystallization of human will.
だから強い思いは時として周りの人さえも巻き込んで流れを大きく変えてしまうのかもしれません。
So, someone's strong thoughts and feelings, sometimes involving even other people around them, or even the people around them, may have a major impact on the course of that flow.
ありがとうなのです。
Thank you, Keiichi,
大切なことを気づかせてくれて
for helping me realize something important.
もうちょっとだけ早くあなたと会いたかったのですよ。
Only wish I'd met you a little sooner.
運命か。
But there's an organization called Tokyo connected to the Erie Institute, and some endemic disease called Hinamizawa syndrome.
でも
あなたを私もけじゃ
Bam. Bam. Another suction down. I arrived at the Okamiya library 30 minutes before our scheduled meeting time.
時間忘れる
じゃ
かなりけ
ま
けオッケー
どれどれ。おそれ
コミ
いくら運命
Doink.
いやケイちゃんと
She started studying for entrance exams because she wanted to go to the same school as me. That answer was so far outside my expectations that it left me speechless.
1年くらい
いや楽しいと思うぞきっと。
My voice had suddenly cracked. I was desperately trying to string together the words. Come on, I need to stay calm. Anyway, even if her goal is to get into the same school, that doesn't mean she has to work really hard studying for exams.
このまま行けばケイちゃん大学はきっと東京でしょ
Kichan, at the pace you're going to end up in a college in Tokyo, right?
けど
でもケイ
でもそれもいいかなと思ってる。でも
違う
え
ありがとう
あれどうも。あ
こういうお二人
それお
ちょよケイちゃん
わ
の時期投資といよでだとあケイ
あ別に問い詰めているんじゃないぞ。
Oh, I don't want to press you for an answer, okay?
言いたくないなら無理には聞かないしさ。
If you don't want to talk about it, I won't force you.
それじゃケイちゃん
Of course, Mion frowned at first, learning that I already knew about the things she wanted to keep hidden from me. But when I told her that my feelings remained unchanged and I trusted her all the same after hearing those stories, she had a relieved, bitter smile on her face and seemed convinced. Then,
わかった去年そして この子の気持ちお子ちゃまか
Sometimes voices just stand out. The person before me was not the future Sonozaki family head or the leader of our club. She was just a lone girl. Above all else, she was an older sister, thinking of her younger sister.
でもそれを確かめるのはミオンだろ。
Right. Nobody else can do it for her. Mion has to do that herself. She'll only reach an answer if she makes the first move.
ありがとうケイちゃん
Bam, bam, bam. Another one bites the dust. Oh, Angel Mort.
ケイちゃん遠慮はいりませんよ
Come on, Key-chan, don't hold back.
ちょっとお前の家じゃ食はパンの代わりにケーキなのか？このマリー・アントワネット。
Just how many calories are in all this? Does she want me to die young from metabolic syndrome?
ある入ります
What a change.
え
What an addition.
好きま最も最初はサトシくんおねありがとうごめん
I remember this scene.
これは
I remember that bear.
本当は大好きなのよね
Deep down,
ミオンの
you feel love, don't you? For Mion.
シオンのことが
For Shion in quotes. Very much so.
早くおシオン
いやあの時
ちょっともうこれ
いそ
噂に怯えていたその
なそれはつまり
すごいのですケイチ
That's amazing, Keiichi. Rika-chan sighed as if she was impressed and then put on a bright smile.
なるほどそこに行き着いたのですね
I see. So you've made it that far.
やっぱりケイチなのです
I figured you would, Keiichi.
僕もそこまでは考えたこともありませんでした
I never even thought about it like that.
病死
A natural death.
と言っても信じてはくれませんでしょ
Even if I told you that, you wouldn't believe it, would you?
うでもおそらくあなたも疑っている通りたたりでないことは確かなのです
But, as I'm sure you suspect, it's certainly not the work of a curse.
そして人為的な動機が垣間見えないのも無理はありません
And it's natural you couldn't find an obvious motive for a person to have done it.
犯人はたたりを隠れ蓑に利用したのですから
Because the culprit used the curse to hide it.
ここまでにしてくださいなのです
Then, Rika-chan apologetically bowed her head.
あ人
このまま
リカちゃん
まさか高野はたたりを人為的に発生させて村人全員を殺す気なのですか
No way! Takano wants to artificially make the curse happen and kill the entire village? And that's another one down. I forgot when it became like this.
生い
とっと
くそくそこうさよせますぐ
Oh man, arena parts.
どんなネズミ大好きなまあじゃ
On his way back after a short smoke in the break room, Oishi suddenly noticed a family coming in through the public entrance. Needless to say, one of them was a man he knew very well. It was Akasuka.
おやおや
My goodness!
これは赤坂さんご一家がお越しとは
It's Akasuka-san, and you brought your family!
ようこそいらっしゃいました
No! Welcome, please come in!
ああ大石さん
Ah, Oishi-san.
すみません来てしまいました
Sorry, but I couldn't resist stopping by.
石のおじちゃんこんにちは
Oh, it's Miyuki. Hello, Uncle Oishi! The woman next to Katsuko was probably his wife, and the girl between them was their daughter Miyuki, who was jumping up and down while waving at Oishi with a big smile on her face. He started to wonder if this is what it'd feel like to have grandchildren, and as he did, he responded with a suitable smile of his own without any indecency.
Oh, Miyuki-chan!
Oh, Miyuki-chan!
おじさんのこと覚えていてくれましたか
So you remember me?
こりゃ嬉しいなな
I'm so happy to hear it. No.
だって大石のおじちゃんママのところのおじいちゃんと同じで優しいもん。
It's because Uncle Oishi is nice, just like my grandpa on Mama's side.
ねえママ。
Right, Mama?
こらみゆき、
Now, Miyuki.
パパの偉いお友達なんだからちゃんとしなさい。
This is a dear friend of Papa's, so treat him with respect.
すみません、先日はこの子が大変お世話になったそうで。
Sorry, I heard she was apparently a handful around you the other day. The woman lightly reproached Miyuki beside her, then bowed her head to Oishi. The surrounding staff members are all turning around to see the woman exuding the lovely atmosphere.
ああいえいえ全然お
She's
構
got
いな
that
く
aura around her. No, it's no problem at all.
であなたは赤坂さんの奥さん
So, you must be Akasuka-san's wife?
どうもはじめまして私が大石です
Very nice to meet you. I'm Oishi.
こちらこそご挨拶が遅れて、赤坂の家内でございます。
Yes, I'm Akasuka's wife. Apologies for the late greeting.
お噂はかねがね聞いておりましたよ
No, I've heard a lot about you.
それにしてもやっぱり聞くと見るとでは全然違いますね
Still, finally getting the chance to see you is completely different from hearing about you.
お子さんがこんなにも可愛いのでさぞかしお母さんは綺麗な方だろうと思っておりましたが私の貧相な想像をはるかに超えた美人さんだ
Your daughter is so adorable that I figured her mother would be a beautiful lady, but you're far beyond my wildest imagination.
ひょっとして東京で
Really
モ
buttering
デ
her
ル
up.
でもやってらっしゃったんですか
By any chance, do you do modeling back in Tokyo?
いえ、そんな
No, not at all.
私ごときがとてもそんなお仕事を。
I could never do a job like that.
大石さん、私の女房を口説かないでくださいよ。
Oishi-san, please stop trying to seduce my wife.
一体そ
Please.
のセリフ、何人の女性に使われたんですか？
And how many women have used that line on anyway? Nah.
これ心外な私は本心からそう言ったんですがね
Why, I'm hurt. I meant that sincerely.
いやいや赤坂さん実にあなたが羨ましい
I must say, Akasuka-san, I'm actually quite jealous.
こんな綺麗な方の旦那さんがあなたじゃなかったら私今晩神社にこもって五寸釘を藁人形に打ちつけていますって
If this pretty lady's husband was anyone but you, I'd be down at the shrine tonight nailing up straw dolls. Meh. Oishi's stomach shook as he said that with a smile. Kasuko was smiling back because he trusted him with all his heart. Meanwhile, Yuki lightly tugged at her husband's sleeve and gently tilted her head to give him a signal. Kasuko gave her a nod in response and then urged her to step back.
お仕事中にお邪魔してしまってすみません。
I'm sorry to bother you in the middle of the workday.
本当は私一人で伺う予定だったのですが、家内がぜひご挨拶したいと申しまして。
I was actually planning to come here alone, but my wife wanted to say hello.
ほう私にですか
Oh, to me?
はい、
Yes.
5年前主人の危ないところを助けていただいたそうで、本当にありがとうございました。
You helped my husband when he was in a dangerous situation 5 years ago. Honestly, thank you so much.
今までお会いする機会がなく、お礼を申し上げるのが随分遅れてしまって。
But I've never had an opportunity to meet you, so I'm extremely late in offering my thanks.
なんの
No! Don't mention
刑
it.
事の職務上命を借りたことは忘れなくても貸したことは水に流すのが礼儀ですからね
All in the line of duty as a detective. Never forget that your life is borrowed, but it's common courtesy to forgive and forget.
どうかお気になさらないでくださいな。
Please, don't worry about it. See, this is the inserted part that I was probably thinking was going to come at some point where it's completely different with like, I guess this change would be like the fact that it's like with Akasuka. Well, I mean, it's obvious it has to do with probably Akasuka because of the whole. It was 5 years ago when the Minister of Construction's grandson was kidnapped. Akasuka found himself in a tight situation while wrestling the kidnapper, but he was able to escape with Oishi's help. And, all of a sudden, Oishi realized. Back then, his daughter was still in the wife's stomach. Thinking about that, Oishi felt really glad that he could help out back then. At the very least, Oishi never would have been able to meet Akasuka's smiling wife and daughter here if something had happened to him back then. True. Dear?
ああ、すまない。そろそろ行かなくちゃな。
Hmm? Ah, sorry. It's about time to get going.
すみません、大石さん。私たちはこれから。
Pardon me, Oishi-san. We'll have to catch up later.
そうじゃなくて。ねえあなた。
That's not what I was getting at. Hey, dear.
私たち先に宿の方へ行ってみましょうか。
Why don't we head to the inn ahead of you?
え
Huh?
大石さんと積もるお話も終わりでしょ。
I'm sure you and Oishi-san have plenty of stories to share, right?
めったにお会いできない大切な方なんだからいいじゃありませんか。
He's a good friend you rarely get to see, so it's okay, isn't it?
私とみゆきは温泉地でゆっくりしていますわ。
Miyuki and I will head to the hot spring and relax.
何を言ってるんだよ。
What are you talking about?
せっかくの家族旅行なのに、そんなことできるわけないじゃないか。
This is a family vacation. I can't do that.
そうですよ奥さん。
That's right, ma'am.
私は家族団らんのお邪魔をする気なんてこれっぽっちもありませんから。
I wouldn't want to come between you and your family.
どうかそんなにお気遣いいただかなくても。
Please, don't worry about it.
いえ、いいんです。
No, it's fine.
この人、家でも大石さんのことをいつもよく話してくれて、
He's always
今日
talk.
も会えるのをとても楽しみにしていたんです。
He's always talking about you back home, Oishi-san. He was really looking forward to seeing you today.
ですから、お忙しい方に差し出がましいお願いをしてしまって誠に申し訳ありませんが、ぜひ少しの時間でも主人に付き合ってやっていただけませんか。
So, I apologize for making such a burdensome request of such a busy person, but would you mind spending a little time with my husband? Damn.
奥さん。
Ma'am.
しかし君たちは。
But you guys,
大丈夫ですよ。
it's alright.
さっき駅前の案内板を見たら、電車で行ってもそれほどかからないみたいですから。
I checked the map in front of the station. It doesn't take long to take the train.
ね、そうなさってください。
So please, go right ahead.
雪へ。
Yuki. Indeed, they worked far apart, so they didn't have many opportunities to chat. After seeing how excitedly the two of them were talking, she must have decided it would be best to allow it. That may very well have been the reason she was investigating the train routes in the first place. Truly a dedicated wife, but she felt a sense of admiration as he warmly watched the interaction between the two of them. Huh?
パパ、温泉に来ないの？
Papa, you're not coming to the hot spring?
ちゃんと一緒よ。
You and Papa will be together later.
でもみゆき、最近パパにいろいろしてもらったでしょ。
But Miyuki, you've been spending plenty of time with Papa recently, haven't you?
だからパパもお仕事で疲れているんだから、ちょっとくらい休ませてあげないとね。
Plus, Papa's tired from all his work, so let him have a little rest.
みゆきはママと一緒だと温泉楽しくない？
Miyuki, you don't think you'll have fun at the hot spring with Mama?
そんなことない。
Yes, I do think so.
みゆき、パパもママも大好きだもん。
Miyuki loves Mama and Papa both.
みゆき。
Miyuki. In reality, Kasuga himself thought it would be dull to offer Oishi nothing more than a quick greeting. But he came here for the sake of his family, so he felt guilty that they were going this far for him and Oishi instead.
ありがとうございます、奥さん。
Thank you, ma'am.
というわけだから、赤坂さん、せっかくのお心遣いです。
Since she's so considerate, Kasuga-san.
今日はせいぜいいろんなメンツも入れて飲み明かしましょう。
For today, let's go all out and drink the night away with the guys. No! Oishi let out a cheerful laugh and gave Akasaka a pat on the back in an effort to ease his hesitation. In response to that, Akasaka came to a decision and responded with a huge nod.
そうですね。
Indeed.
すまない、イキエ。今夜だけは君の好意に甘えさせてもらうよ。
I'm sorry, Yuki. Take advantage of your kindness just for tonight.
ええ、こちらはご心配なく。
Of course. Don't worry about it.
明日の朝のお戻りでも構いませんので、ゆっくりしてきてくださいな。
You can come back tomorrow morning, so feel free to take your time.
ただし、若いお姉さんのいないお店で、ね。
Just not at one of those shops with the young ladies. Damn.
ああ。
Right. But even though she had a smile on her face at the end there, her eyes weren't smiling at all.
Akasaka-san も随分強くなりましたね。
Boy, you sure can drink now, Akasaka-san. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. So it was just them hanging out there. It had to get
そういや
the...
前にもそんなことをお話しされてい
I
ましたね。
assume the bit about the 5 years prior thing, I think was probably, and then them just obviously meeting there at the station or whatever. Ah, you mentioned something about that earlier.
それにしても赤坂さん、古出家の忘れがためにどういったご用で？
Anyway, what might you need from the orphan daughter of the Frude family?
何？ねえ。起き。じ。
いえ。フルで理科。それはつまり自分を助けてほしいという明白なサインだったと思うんです。
In other words, she asked me to help her, I think.
ならば私はぜひ確かめたい。
In which case, I absolutely do want to make certain of it.
今でも彼女は本当に私の助けを必要としているのかを。
Even now, she still needs my help. After hearing Akasaka say that, Oishi and the others felt silent and couldn't say anything. It was a completely implausible story, but Akasaka didn't appear to be drunk, and the look of his face made it clear he wasn't joking around. So, after exhaling a huge heavy breath that had been accumulating in his chest, Oishi turned his body toward Akasaka.
赤坂さん、私はね、今年で定年なんです。
Akasaka-san, I'm retiring this year.
4年。
明日フルで理科に接触を試みようと思います。
I'm going to try to get in touch with Rika Furude tomorrow.
ユキエたちには申し訳ないですが、どうやら彼女に直接話を聞くしかないようですからね。
I'll have to apologize to Yuki and Miyuki, but I think the best thing to do is to talk to her directly.
話はそれからです。
And that's another one down. That's another section down. Count it. I'm gonna get fast forwarded.
いや、その点は
その
せめて作詞と呼んで。
わっさんこれ
Even the characters are depressed when they know they're getting fast forwarded.
いえそれは遠慮しますたたりそのこのそれはそれで
み
じゃあこ
そま
かさわかり
Just then, a man walked over to me from the carryout line near the entrance. Then, he regretfully looked at me while raising his hand to apologize for his rudeness, and then opened his mouth to ask a question.
今君たちリカちゃん
Just now, did I hear you mention Rika-chan?
さとこさとこ
Satoko! Satoko!
お願いなのですさとこいたら返事をしてください
Please, Satoko, if you're there, please answer me.
大丈夫ですわリカ
It's alright, Rika.
もう頭痛も抜けてきましたしちょっと外を歩く方が気分も良くなると思いますわ
My headache is already letting up, and I think I'll feel better after taking a stroll outside.
もう心配性ですわねリカは
Stop being such a worrywart, Rika.
ですけど最近連日打ち合わせと練習で忙しいリカにそうそう負担ばかりかけてはいられませんわ
You've been busy lately with meetings and practice every single day. Can't force such a heavy burden on you.
それに最近ようやくブロッコリーとカリフラワーを小分けするやり方を発見しましたのよ
Besides, I recently discovered a means to distinguish broccoli and cauliflower.
今度 こそ間違えずに買ってきてリカに笑われないようにしてみせますから楽しみにして遊ばせ。
I'll buy the correct one this time so you don't have to laugh at me. So you won't have to laugh at me, Rika. Look forward to it.
そうだ、サトコ。
That's right. Satoko!
サトコ、
Breathing changes. Satoko! 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 Ah! Fall.
見たのですか、サトコ。
Have you seen Satoko?
鉄平が来たのですね。
Teppei was here, right?
どうして
Why?
どうして止めてくれなかったのですか。
Why didn't you stop him?
謝るくらいだったら
If you feel the need to apologize,
せめてかくまってあげても。
couldn't you at least try to hide? What?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
もったいないです。
Oh
リ
man.
カ、
Sad Satoko. And there were painful marks on her face, but don't look away. Burn the sight into your eyes.
サト、私リカに迷惑がかかってしま
どこいな
おと
わ
待ってく
This
ださい。
guy.
サトコ、
Teppei Hojo. Satoko, please wait.
よ
出張
Business trip?
どこに行ってたのですか。
Where did you go?
初めて知りましたのです。
Me. This is the first I've heard of it.
同居人の女性の家でゴロゴロするのが出張なのですか。
Oh, Rika talking shit. Was it the sort of business trip where you loaf around doing nothing at some other lady's house?
ダメったらぶちか
リカ、早く逃げてください。行きましょうなのです、サトコ。
Satoko, let's go!
さあ、早く。
Now, hurry!
鉄平が動けないうちに。
While Teppei can't move.
リカ、あなたのお気持ちは嬉しいですわ。すごく。
Rika, I'm glad you feel this way. Truly.
だけど、
However,
あなたは耐えることがサトシへの贖罪、そして自分が強くなることだと思っているのかもしれない。
you probably think that enduring this is necessary to atone for Satoshi and to become stronger.
でもそれじゃ誰も喜ばないのです。
But nobody will be happy with that.
みんな救われないのです。
It won't save anyone.
サトシだって
Not even Satoshi.
耐えて辛抱して何が生まれますか。
What comes from being so tolerant, so patient?
あなたは前に自分が頑張らなかったからサトシがいなくなった。
You
だ
think
から今耐えるべきだと思っているのですか。
you think Satoshi is gone because you didn't work hard enough before? So you think you need to endure it now?
それは違う。間違っています。
だ
サトシの頑張りは耐え続けることじゃなかったのですよ。
That's wrong. You're mistaken. Satoshi didn't work as hard as he did just to continue enduring this.
むしろあなたを守るために勇敢にその身を投げ出して戦い続けることだったのですよ。
He kept on fighting bravely because he wanted to protect you.
ここに来るまでに
Didn't
見
you
ま
see
し
it?
たですか。
Didn't you see it right before you came here?
あなたを鉄平から守ろうとして今まで冷たいと思っていた人たちが立ち上がってくれました。
The people you thought were treating you coldly up until now stood up and tried to protect you from Teppei.
それが迷惑をかけることだと感じたからあなたは抵抗せずにこの男に従った。
You didn't want to be a bother for them, so you followed this man without resisting.
でも迷惑をかけたり助けを求めることは決して悪いことじゃないのです。
But you know, it's never a bad thing to bother someone to ask for the help.
本当にいけないのはそれだけ身を投げ出して戦ってくれた人の思いと努力から顔を背けてしまうことなのですよ。
What you really shouldn't do is to turn away from the feelings and the effort of the people who risk themselves fighting on your behalf, right?
思い出してください。さとこ、
Satoko, please, remember.
あなたは覚えているはずです。
You should still remember it.
たった一人で大人たちに立ち向かい、あなたを守り続けた兄の姿を。
That image of your brother standing up to adults alone to protect you.
そしてゼロからたくさんの力をかき集めてあなたを救い出した勇気あるもう一人の兄の姿を。
Now picture another courageous brother gathering immense strength from absolutely nothing in order to save you.
それでも最後まで諦めずにあなたのことを思ってくれた人たちのことまで無視し続けるのですか、王女さとこ。
After all that, are you still going to continue ignoring the people who never gave up and have been thinking so hard about you until the very end, Satoko Hojo?
ミオン、明日の綿流しの幕。
思い出して
Try to remember.
手を伸ばすのは
Reaching a hand out isn't the same as asking for help.
一緒に
Together.
リカ
Rika. Huh?
てっちゃんに
Oh, it's a punk.
逃げて早く行っちゃダメです、さとこ。
Don't say anything, Satoko!
ずっと僕はあなたを助けることができないって諦めていましたのです。
For the longest time, I'd given up, thinking there was nothing I could do to help you.
でも今は違いますです。
But now, it's different.
意志の強さがあれば運命なんて関係ない。袋小路だって突破してみせる。
Fate means nothing as long as you have the strength of will, so we can burst right through this dead end.
そしてその意志に基づく行動が全てを開く。
And as long as we're willing to take action, we can open the door to anything.
その証拠をあなたに見せてあげますです。
I'll prove it to you. Right here,
僕が
right,
今ここで
right here, right now. At last, I realized. So, I won't run away anymore. I won't give up. And in order to do that, I won't let these guys destroy our happiness.
倒れるもんか。
I'll never give in.
僕は絶対さとこ
I
を
swear.
連れて帰る。
I swear. I'm going to bring Satoko home. Also, I kept looking at this. It looks like the way her sprite head ends here, and these look like weird bug antenna coming out there.
さと、
There we go.
だけ。
エイクさん思い出して
Try to remember.
手を伸ばすのは
And
助けを求めることじゃ
reaching
な
a
い。
hand out isn't the same as asking for help.
一緒に戦うこと。
Together, we'll fight. Gua.
さとこ
Gua. Teppei rose to his feet once more and swung his arms and legs at Satoko over and over while screaming in a brutal, rage-filled voice. But in the end, it was just a weakling putting on airs to try and intimidate someone smaller than him. That wanton display of power had no meaning before Satoko. His anger massively reduced the accuracy of his attacks, so she was able to quickly move beyond his reach. And when they faced each other like this, Satoko was beginning to laugh at herself for ever fearing a man of this caliber. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
やめろ
Stop it!
さとこ
Satoko.
ダメ思い出しては
You don't have to remember.
あんなのデタラメ
He's talking nonsense. Huh?
リカちゃん
There he is.
よく
これく。
さとこしっかりして
Nice. Nice. Fate of an outlaw.
この鉛楽には死なせてあげないわよ。
Bam, bam, bam. We'll go ahead and save just in case. Because even though it's been under an hour, we've made a lot of progress, and I would hate to have to, for whatever fucking reason, have to reload. Or re-go through all that. Next section, please. I have too much power here. There's no need to worry.
隣のおねもしもできればこんな状況シオンさん前原く
ただ命の恩人と休暇だよ。
I'm on vacation.
このひなみ沢を数日観光した後は和倉温泉に向かって夫婦水入らずでのんびりする予定だった。
After a few days of sightseeing in Hinamizawa, my wife and I were planning to go to a private hot spring in Wakura.
だけどその前にリカちゃん
But before that, Rika-chan,
一つだけ教えてほしい。
there's just one thing I'd like you to tell me.
何をですか？
Me? What would that be?
あの時君は私に助けを求めてくれた。
You asked for my help back then.
今でもそれは間に合うだろうか。
Is there still time now?
私は君の力になることができるだろうか。
Is there anything I can do to lend you my strength?
ここは人の命を何とも思わない連中でいっぱいです。
There's a lot of people who have no regard for human life.
これを伝えても何も変わらないかもしれないけど、
Even if I tell you this, it might not change anything, though.
でも死という月を映す水面をかき消すためなら小石を投じることもあるかもしれない。
But if you want to erase the specter of death, sometimes, like with the reflection of the moon on the water, all you have to do is throw a small stone. I had no idea what she was trying to say. It's just, I had to listen to every word with my body and soul, or at least that's what I thought.
そしてさらに翌年の昭和58年の6月の今日、
And then the year after that, this day in the June of 1983.
あるいはその数日後か、
Or possibly a few days afterwards.
私が殺されます。
I will be killed.
すべての死が予定調和なら
If all the deaths are preordained,
最後の死もまた予定のうちなのでしょうか。
then the last one would also be all according to plan.
でもならばこれは一体誰の予定なの？
But then, whose plan would it be? This village is full of murderers and people who have no regard for human life. It would be fine to believe that all the deaths up to 1982 would be the work of somebody in the village. It would be fine to believe that all the deaths would occur were at the discretion of those who control the village. But that didn't explain what would happen in 1983. There's no way that the last death would fit in with anybody's plans. They had no regard for human life. They would use every means at their disposal to meet their goals. But their goals were at odds with the last death. That's why the last death was unrelated to them. But that last death would definitely, most likely, probably, without question, happen. Probably. Definitely. I dare say. Last death would be a merciful one. A handkerchief or something being placed over their mouth, making them lose consciousness, never to wake up again. Exactly whose plan was that?
私は幸せに生きたい。
I want to live happily.
望みはそれだけ。
That's my only wish.
大好きな友人たちに囲まれて楽しく日々を過ごしたい。
Surrounded by my precious friends, spending our days enjoyably.
それだけなの。
Only that.
それ以上の何も望んでいないの。
I don't wish for anything more than that.
死にたくない。
I don't want to die. The girl, stoic as ever, let those last words slip in the end. However, Kasuga didn't understand the meaning of her words back then. No, he didn't try to understand. To be perfectly honest, they seemed like nonsensical, childish ramblings, and he was far more concerned about his own injuries, his wife Yuki, and the circumstances at the end of the kidnapping case. He was simply a narrow-minded man who couldn't see beyond his own problems. However, now things are different. He's grown since then, and he's changed. Because thanks to Rika's warning, he was able to avoid losing what was most precious to him. That day, 5 years ago, something bad will happen if you don't go back to Tokyo. The night that Akasuka heard Rika's ominous prophecy, he immediately thought of his wife, who was in the hospital in preparation for childbirth. She could be in some sort of danger. Didn't really believe it, but when he prayed to God for a safe delivery, he couldn't simply ignore it. Kasuga was worried about it, so he called the hospital at some point in the middle of the investigation, and he shuddered just thinking about what he heard from a nurse back then.
屋上
The rooftop?
なんでそんなところに
What's she doing in a place like that?
奥さんには教えたこと内緒にしててくださいね。
Ah! Please keep what I'm telling you a secret from your wife, okay?
なんでも遠くにお出かけになっているご主人に頑張れって声を送っているんだそうです。
She wanted to send her voice to her husband working hard so far away by any means necessary.
毎日お一人で階段を登ってそうするのが日課なんだっておっしゃっていましたよ。
She said she'd made it a daily routine to go up those stairs every single day. Kasuga felt a cold, mysterious atmosphere around him that was more frightening than joyful. He couldn't laugh it off like it was mere child's play. He seemed truly grateful to have his wife's pure feelings supporting him all this time. However, after that, the nurse mentioned the stairs. Simply maintaining her balance while walking with her heavy body was a difficult enough exercise, but going up and down the stairs was something that should never be done at that stage of pregnancy. And to make it worse, she was doing it alone. Even if the chances are slim, if she were to fall, who on earth would help her? A horrifying mental image emerged in the back of Akasuka's mind, of a nurse calling out to Yuki and then going out to find her. The tiles on the stairs are especially slippery when wearing the sandals provided to hospital patients. In fact, one time when we were there to meet her, he saw an old man nearly lose his footing. If she were to inadvertently slip and fall, just like that old man, any impact on a pregnant woman's body is dangerous, not just for the child in the womb, but for the mother too. And Yuki was never one to stand perfectly still. Even when she had a fever, she wouldn't hesitate to say that doing housework calmed her down. So, Kasuga. Huh?
どうしたんですか、あなた。
What's wrong, dear?
ユキ頼む
Yuki, please.
動きたい気持ちはわかるが戻るまでおとなしくしていてほしい
I understand that you'd like to move around, but I want you to stay put until I get back.
一生のお願いだ
Please, this is a once-in-a-lifetime request.
一生って大げさですね。
Once in a lifetime? You're exaggerating.
ひょっとして看護師さんから何か聞いたんですか？
By any chance, did the nurse tell you something?
恥ずかしいです。
How embarrassing.
君の気持ちは本当に嬉しい
I'm truly glad that you feel this way.
心の底から君にはいつも感謝しているんだ
And I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart.
本当に私には過ぎた妻だと私は思っている
Honestly, you're too good for me.
急にどうしたんです？
What's with this all of a sudden?
何かあったんですか、あなた。
Did something happen, dear?
だから頼む
So please,
君に万一のことがあったら私は本気で生きていく力を失ってしまうだろう
if something were to happen to you, I don't know how I'd be able to go on living.
いつまでも君とはずっと温かな家庭を築いていきたいんだ
I want to build a warm, happy family with you, together, forever.
心配しすぎだと笑われるかもしれない
I'm sure you're laughing and thinking I'm getting carried away.
だけど私は
But even so,
あなた。
Dear? Before he realized it, Kasuga began mumbling his words like they were mixed with tears. For some reason, he was feeling especially sad, but he didn't know why. Still, he wanted to tell her. He simply had to tell her. He had just imagined the worst possible future. Made him feel genuine sorrow, like he had tasted this in another time.
わかりました、あなた。
Okay, dear.
私こそごめんなさい。自分の体を気遣うことを忘れていて。
I'm sorry for not taking better care of my body.
あなたが戻るまではおとなしくしていますね。
I'll behave myself until you come back.
ありがとう、ユキエ。
Thanks, Yuki.
いえ、あなたのお気持ち、本当に嬉しいです。
Don't worry about it. I'm really glad you feel this way.
あなたこそどうかご無事で戻ってきてくださいね。
And take care of yourself too, dear. Please come back safely. And that concern, in a sense, is what led to the best result. When Akasuka called a few days later, he heard there was an accident where a loose tile caused someone to slip and fall down the stairs. A janitor was seriously injured. And that was the exact same stairwell Yuki used when going up to the rooftop. If he hadn't taken the girl's advice and called Yuki, he was awestruck and couldn't believe it. Doesn't take much thought to see that as the worst possible future. It was all thanks to Rika Furude's miraculous prophecy.
そして君の予言通り、この村に毎年たたりを語る開始事件が起こったと聞いた。
And I hear the curses cause mysterious deaths in the village every year, just as you predicted.
君が私に教えてくれたことは全て事実だった。
Everything you told me was completely true.
そして君は最後に自分は今年殺されると言っていた。
And the last thing you said was that you were going to be killed this year.
赤坂
Kasuka?
確かに私にとって妻と娘は何よりも大切なものだ。
My wife and daughter are more precious to me than absolutely anything else.
だがそれは君がいてくれたからこそ失わずに済んだものなんだ。
But the only reason I have them at all is thanks to you.
なのに二人を助けてくれた君が不幸に遭うなんて私は絶対に認めない。
That's why I'll never allow the person who saved them to be unhappy.
だから私が今手にしているこの時間とこの力、ぜひ君のために使わせてくれ。
So this time, let me use my strength to help you.
赤坂
Kasuka.
本当に長いこと忘れていた気がする。
I feel like I forgot for such a long time.
赤坂
I'm sure even Akasuka doesn't know just how much this fills my heart with joy, gratitude, and hope. But I wanted to tell him the intensity and depth of my feelings, and I wanted to tell Kechi, who was quietly sitting beside him, watching over me with a smile on his face. Right now, I have such powerful allies. So, there's no reason to feel depressed. No, I can't feel depressed. I'll grab hold of the future for their sake too. I'm certain of it.
そろそろ潮時だな。
The time to fight has nearly arrived.
隠し
ちょっと大丈夫。
It's alright.
妻と娘は知り合いに警護の協力を頼んで訳を話して東京に返すよ。
I'll ask my colleague to look after them, and I'll explain everything to them to send them back to Tokyo.
そのまま実家に行かせて公安の身辺保護プログラムを発動させるから問題ない。
After that, I can let them go to her parents' house and activate the public security personal protection program, so it's not going to be a problem.
赤坂よく
リカちゃん、
だってよろし
じゃ
富武入江嘘をついてごめんなさいなのです。
Tomatake, Irie, I'm sorry for lying. There we go. A little stretch where he had to read. It's fine. We love reading a little bit here.
まだ目が覚めませんか？
Is she still not awake yet?
ただ
これ
しよ
もし
とりあだみ
Oh shit, this would be a difference, right? Natsumi at the festival? Oh, huge change. Huge. Mion-chan, good evening. Yep. Natsumi-chan waved her arms toward a group of people standing behind her, young and old, men and women, probably her relatives. The mother-like woman said, "Well, go on ahead." So Natsumi cheerfully nodded at the woman and turned back to us. Huh? Huh? Wait, was that different? Oh, I don't remember. What, Natsumi, was she in this part? Maybe she was in this part. Maybe it's just slightly different. I don't know. It's all the arcs are starting. It's like I'm seeing many different timelines, and they're all like starting to blur a bit. Haha, you two are just the same as always. Rika-chan? Of the Furudes? Mion-chan? It's best not to get too close. After walking with Natsumi-chan for a while, she went back to her family. Apparently, she's serving as sort of guide for a group of friends. Incidentally, I invited them to join in on our club activities, but the girl with the pigtails shot down the offer. She responded, "We're on a mission to incite romance between two lovebirds." I had no idea what she meant, but Rina, Shion, Rika-chan, and even Mion all nodded their heads like they were convinced. What did it mean?
Yeah, Rika-chan ni Keiichi-kun.
Hey, Rika-chan, Keiichi-kun.
君たちも来てたんだね.
You guys came too. Oh, there we go. Miyuki at the festival. Ah, Kasuka-san. When I turned toward the source of that voice, I found Kasuka standing there. Beside him was a fine-looking lady who was likely his wife and a cute little girl. Speaking of cute things. How? Who is she? Who is this girl? Who is this girl? So cute, super duper cute. Huh? Oops. Oh, you're scaring me, Yuki. What?
Kimi?
You? Reina? Wait a sec.
Shut up! Be quiet! Be positive!
Shut up! I gotta hear that. Let me hear that line again.
Shut up! Be quiet! Be positive! Shut up! Be quiet! Be positive!
Be positive? That's really good. This girl belongs to Reina. How? I want to take her home with me. Hold on. What are you doing to my Miyuki? Kasuka. Kasuka-san tried to take back the girl he called Miyuki, but Rina splendidly fought him off. Kasuka-san is supposed to be a detective from public security, isn't he? So if Rina beat him hands down, what on earth does that make her? Plus, that's clearly obstruction of an active duty civil servant. Me? Huh? So this man is a police officer? I'm having doubts about peace and order in Japan if a policeman can be taken down by a schoolgirl. Although, I wonder if you can really put cute mode Reina in the same category as schoolgirls. Wouldn't the monster category be more appropriate? This girl is hurting me. Reina was running wild, or maybe I should say about to explode, but between all of us, we eventually managed to pin her down and set Miyuki-chan free. Kasuka-san seemed shocked that he was knocked out by a teenage girl, so he drooped his shoulders and headed toward the medical tent with his wife. And then Miyuki-chan. You're strong, lady. Miyuki wants to get strong too. Teach me how to take down Papa like that, okay? But of course. The trick is to twist your hips first, then put your weight into it when you swing your fist, and pack it into your wrist. In no time at all, she had developed a misguided master-apprentice relationship with Rina. I mean, who had ever seen two girls teaching one another martial arts in the middle of Festival Plaza? And to make it worse, Kasuga-san's wife said, raise her as a strong girl before entrusting the girl to us. So Rina was being unusually enthusiastic. One second, I gotta check something really here. Sorry, Mion. I will be... Okay. Sorry, I had to... What is this? Okay. At any rate, even though this girl has been through such a terrible experience, she'll still be innocent. Or maybe I should say she still has a lot of guts. So she'll have a promising future. Somehow, I get the feeling this girl is going to become my mortal enemy one day. Well, Reina and Miyuki-chan are having fun, so I guess it's okay. But I do need to keep an eye on them to make sure Reina doesn't actually take her home. Anyway, let's get going. Huh? Miyuki can join in too? Miyuki-chan made a wide-eyed expression like she was trying to add the numbers up, then got confused. Well, I guess that's a normal reaction, but the grand prize, unable to read the situation award, still goes to Mion, so of course that was a mere trifle to her. Congratulations, Miyuki-chan! In honor of the good fortune that brought you to Hinamizawa today, you get to be an honorary club member for the day. Club member? What's that? I'm glad you asked. Mion just going on. As usual, Mion's explanation made no sense. I mean, how can you expect a little girl to understand something that complicated? Unfortunately, when you come to Hinamizawa... Okay, now that I'm kind of remember this, I think maybe this was normally Natsumi, and that was the whole thing. Maybe. Possibly, probably. And now it's being replaced with Miyuki because of Kasuga. Okay, then what should Miyuki do? Miyuki-chan still had no idea what was going on, but I thought it was rather impressive that she could endure this dreadful environment without bursting into tears. Basically, club activities are when we all play games together. Or to look at it another way, let's play with Miyuki in Satoko's place. Miyuki-chan, hey, Of course, I felt guilty for letting an innocent little girl get involved in this, and I wanted to advise her to get back to her parents right away, but my back was trembling because I could feel the terrifying atmosphere coming from behind me. What's wrong, mister? I'm sorry, Miyuki-chan. I don't want to sacrifice myself.
とりあえずシンプルにポイント制でいくよ。
Anyway, let's use a simple point system.
うわ、六強爆投。
As a first-timer, Miyuki-chan was confused at first, but she gradually swung around and recovered her pace. She was having a blast. In fact, she was doing such a great job, she even bested us in the shooting game. Rina even said, "That's my #1 apprentice." How? Rika-chan hadn't really ever played this merely with a younger girl before, so she was looking out for her in a sort of older sister role too. And when Akatsuka-san came back to pick her up, she was seriously crying and shouting, "Let's play together again!" And Rina teared up seeing her off too. Maebara-kun. That last one isn't even real. At least go with platinum. What? Are we forging legendary weapons here? And how do you expect a student to afford this?
できるかしますますほ
Takano.
ケイちゃん、はいこれ。
Kei-chan, here you go.
ごめん。みよ。あ、
じゃなケイ。
俺だ。
そうなのでしょうか。
Is that so?
幾千度。もう正確な数を忘れてしまうくらい同じ時を過ごしてきましたのです。
I've endured the same time period thousands of times, so many that I can't remember the exact number.
でも重ねれば重ねるほど同じことの繰り返しが続くようになっていい加減飽き飽きしてきました。
But the more it repeats, the more I experience the same events. Gotten completely sick of it.
運命が無限に存在するという言葉はそれを経験したことのない人のたわごとだと僕は思いますですよ。
I think the idea that fate is full of infinite possibilities is nonsense spoken by someone who has never experienced it.
ずいぶん決めつけてくれるのですよ。
That's a pretty harsh assumption.
圭一に僕の何がわかるのですか？
What do you know about me, Kechi?
同じ選択なんてそんな面白くもないことを僕が望んだとでも思いますですか？
Do you think I wanted to make the same boring choices?
嬉しさも驚きも二度続けば面白くないのです。
The joy and surprise are lost if you experience something twice.
だから僕はずっと変わった何かが起こることを楽しみにしていました。
So, I've always looked forward to when something unexpected happens.
いつも意外性を求め続けていたのですよ。
I've always continued to seek surprises.
ですが圭一、運命の分岐は無限ではありませんのです。
But Keiichi, the branches of fate are not infinite.
僕はそれを知ってしまったから。
I've come to learn that. So,
それこそリカちゃんの決めつけだろ。違うか？
that's just it. You've assumed that, Rika-chan. Or am I wrong?
だ。
先に見えるのが袋小路だったとしてもですか？
Even though everything I've seen before has led to a dead end?
そうですね。
Right.
かけてみようと思いますです。
Let's take that chance.
もうこれが最後でしょうから。
Because this is the last time. At least, if we could find that girl who's always together with Rika-chan, that Hanyu girl, then the situation could change just a little more. Just then. Huh? When the moon emerged from the clouds and the surrounding area was a little more brightly lit, as Rika-chan gazed at the flowing river, I heard her gasp. Hmm?
どうしたんだ、リカちゃん。
What's wrong, Rika-chan?
嘘、そんな。
No way. Can't be.
じゃあ今ここにいる僕はまさか。
Then the version of me right here now is No way!
リカちゃんおい、リカちゃん
Rika-chan. Hey, Rika-chan. She was trembling. Her whole body was shaking and her eyes were open so wide I could make out her expression even in the dark, as Rika-chan clung to her head and stepped back. And about after 3 steps, she bumped into a large stone that she didn't realize was there, and let out a brief scream as she fell to her butt on the spot.
大丈夫かリカちゃん
Oh, Rika-chan, are you alright?
立てるか
Can you stand?
怪我してなきゃいいんだけど
I hope you're not hurt. When I rushed to her side and offered her a hand, Rika-chan just absent-mindedly stared at it. For some reason, she had tensed up and gotten stuck in a state of not knowing if she should reach her hand out or not. Her small frame was still lightly trembling. Her face looked a little pale, and her eyes were out of focus.
本当に大丈夫かリカちゃん
Seriously, Rika-chan, are you okay?
まだ監督も残っているはずだからすぐに呼んで
The coach should still be here, so I can call him over right away.
平気なのです。
Me, I'm fine.
このまま家に帰ってゆっくり休みま
I just need to go home and get some rest and... Suddenly, Rika-chan jumped to her feet like she was repelled by something. She turned toward the mountains behind her with a sharp look in her eyes. Then she held her breath and vigilantly watched the surrounding area like she was searching for signs of something. And then...
富武が危ない
Tomotake's in danger!
え
Huh?
一緒に来てくださいケイチ
Come with me, Keiichi!
富武が追われていますのです
They're chasing Tomotake! How much time had passed since then? Fortunately, I was able to escape to deep in the mountains before the mountain dogs could catch me, but the pursuers still managed to encircle me and cut off my escape route. And to make things worse, the fireworks at the festival served as effective camouflage to hide the sounds of gunfire. They weren't resorting to rapid fire, but they had already fired off several shots and I was in extreme danger of getting hit. Escape may no longer be possible. In which case...
せめてリカちゃんには
At least, at the very least, for Rika-chan's sake. That was all I could think about as I ran through the hilly countryside, desperately searching for a way out. But... my frantically moving legs suddenly came to a halt as my thoughts turned to despair. Because the scene spread out before my eyes was a swamp. Get off my swamp! It's all over.
諦めないで
Don't give up.
気持ちが折れたらそこでおしまいよ
If you lose heart here, you're done for. Huh?
今の音は
That sound. As we climbed the dark mountain trail, guided by the light of a small flashlight, along the way we heard a loud and distinct splashing sound coming from the direction of the valley. That's right, there should be a small swamp just a short ways ahead of here. I've never seen it up close, but the adults have warned me that's dangerous and I shouldn't go near it. And considering how loud that splash sounded, I doubt it was just something as benign as a rock falling in. Yeah, sounded more like a person falling in.
そんな
It can't be.
富武がまさか
Oh no, Tomotake. Rika-chan ran back down the trail we were heading up, then charged up a steep slope to peek down from a nearby cliff. But even when we aimed our flashlights, the darkness beyond was so deep we could hardly see anything at all. In fact, I couldn't even see my feet on the ground, so one wrong step and I might end up tumbling to the bottom of the valley. Tomotake!
返事をしてくださいなのです
Please! Please answer me!
危ないリカちゃん
But be careful, Rika-chan.
それ以上は本当に落ちるぞ
If you go any further, you'll fall. Even so, Rika-chan was dead sound shouting down the cliff, so I desperately tried to hold her back. Rika-chan seemed to finally come to her senses. She bit at her lip with a painful look on her face and plopped down on the spot while clinging to her head.
この下に富武さんが
Is Tomitake-san down there?
わからないのです。でも
I
感
don't
じましたのです。
I don't know, but I felt it.
富武がこの山の中を逃げ回っていて、そして
Tomitake was running through these mountains, and then... I braced myself against a tree trunk to stand up, then turned off my flashlight to be safe and took a look around. Indeed, I could see unnatural lights flashing at irregular intervals as they moved between the trees, which corroborated what Rika-chan was saying. I felt the need to go investigate, but we were unarmed, and what's more, Rika-chan aside, I wasn't used to running on dimly lit mountain roads. It's no use. There's nothing more we can do here. After making certain that the lights were heading away from us, I knelt down in front of Rika-chan and said, "Let's head back."
このままここにいたって何もできないぜ。
There's nothing we can do right now.
一旦戻って赤坂さんたちに相談しよ
Let's head back and discuss it with Akasuka and the others.
う。それでいいかな、リカちゃん。
Does that sound alright, Rika-chan?
わかりましたのです。
Me, I understand.
ここは一時撤退なのですよ。
Let's retreat for now. As she said that, Rika-chan rose to her feet with a reluctant look on her face, but just then... Huh? Oh! That moment. It happened so fast that neither Rika-chan nor I could even process it. We couldn't understand what was going on. But the ground beneath her feet crumbled and fell. Rika-chan's small body flew into the air and seemed to be swallowed by the darkness. Gong. Huh? When my thoughts finally began to catch up, I realized that Rika-chan disappeared right in front of me. And then, the ground in front of me had collapsed, leaving a massive hole leading to the darkness.
リカちゃん、
Rika-chan?
リカちゃん、リカちゃん、
Rika-chan! Rika-chan!
リカちゃん。
Rika-chan! Screaming. I shouted so much it made my voice hoarse, but I received no response. Only silence, and a freezing chill that coursed through my entire body.
ターゲット、電気銃で狙撃。
Target successfully tased by sniper fire.
沼に落ちて目標喪失。
However, target has been lost after falling into the swamp.
腕が悪いわね。
How amateurish.
発砲ができないとはいえ、夜間訓練くらいは経験しているものと思っていたけど。
I know they can't fire their guns, but I thought they were at least trained for night operations. Takano brushed her hair back and called out to Okanogi behind her. She sensed an apologetic sigh coming from behind, but she didn't want to turn around to see it.
申し訳ないです。
My apologies.
まさか取り逃がして山を捜索するとは全員想定していなかったものですから。
There's no way we could have expected he'd evade everyone and flee to the mountains.
ありとあらゆる不測の状況に対応してこそ軍人の務めよ。
It's the soldier's duty to respond to any and all unforeseen circumstances.
自衛隊から選抜されてきたとは思えない愚説ぶりだわ。
It's hard to believe that hand-picked self-defense force members could be so inept. Even if they weren't allowed to fire their guns, Tomitake managed to escape when he was surrounded and heavily outnumbered. And even though they tried firing wired stun guns, he was able to dodge them like some kind of superhuman. No doubt, Takano was completely astonished herself.
ウグイス4から8継続して沼を捜索
9 Gale 4 through 8. Continue searching the swamps.
9から16は周辺を紹介します
9 through 16, patrol the surrounding area.
他の隊員への追加のご命令を要請します
The rest of you, await further orders.
アホ！
Yo, fucking idiots!
目標を見つけるまで全員任務は継続に決まっとうが。
All hands, continue your mission until the target has been found.
何のための捜索隊ね。すっとしゃんとせっか。
What is the search party even for? Use your brains!
待って。
Wait. Takano suddenly smiled like she had come up with something, and called out to stop Okanogi. Her cold smile combined with her black uniform reminded Okanogi of a witch, and he couldn't help but shudder.
行方不明ならそれでもいいわ。
It's alright if we lost him.
念のために見つけておいたあれ、ちょうどいいから使っちゃいましょう。
We've got our backup plan just in case, so why not use it?
あれですか？
The backup plan, you say?
しかし各校には
どのように伝えるおつもりですか？
But how are we going to explain this to the Kuko?
必要なのはつなぎ役の始末とひなみ沢症候群の見せしめよ。
All we need is elimination of the liaison and a clear demonstration of Hinamizawa syndrome.
彼の遺体を確認するのは後日でもいい。
We can confirm his body at a later date.
それとは別にたたりに会う人間があれば問題ないわ。
Besides, there's no problem if the curse befalls another person.
時間がないの、急ぎなさい。
There's no time. Hurry. They had prepared an insurance policy just in case Tomatake changed his mind, but they weren't planning to use it. With that in mind, Takano gave the order with a particularly cold-blooded expression. Okinogi silently nodded, then took a few people out of the room with him.
もう戻れない。
There's no turning back, huh? Commander,
大変だ。
we've got a problem.
どうかしたんね。
Hmm? Something happened?
青い顔して。なんか見つかった？
You look pale. What did you find?
サザには内密で、
Keep this a secret from the Major.
ウグイスからの報告で、R が
We received word from Nightingale that our
フルでリカが富武の落ちた沼に落ちたようだ。
Rika Furude fell into the same swamp as Tomatake. What?
現在も捜索中だが、こちらの行方も発見できず。
We're still searching, but her whereabouts are currently unknown.
急ぎ、どう対応すべきかの命令をこうと言ってきてるぞ。
We need orders on how to handle this. Quickly. Nice. So a bit different there. A wee bit different. I do think we've made some really good progress through this tonight, but I don't think we're probably going to play any Silk Song. We'll just wait till tomorrow.
それでは今日はここまで。
And we might even call the stream here shortly, but let me see if we can, like, you know, skip a bit more, hopefully. Alright, everyone, that's all for today. Anyway, my body seriously feels heavy today. There are so many things bothering me that just thinking about them made my head feel like it was going to burst. Not to mention, last night was the very first time that I was truly scared to death and tasted the dark depths of despair.
ケイチ君、今日はお疲れなのかな。
Keiichi-kun, are you feeling tired today?
かなりね。
大丈夫？昨日は大活躍だったからね。今日は帰って休んだ方がいいんじゃない？
Are you alright? You put on a great show yesterday, so maybe it'd just be best to head home for the day and get some rest.
リカちゃんも今日は休みみたいだしさ。
Plus, Rika-chan is out today. I lightly turned my head and absentmindedly gazed behind me. Rika-chan's desk was vacant today. Just as Mion said, she was absent all day today.
やっぱりリカちゃんも無理してたんだね。
I guess Rika-chan overworked herself too.
まだ怪我が治ってないのに、あれだけの演舞を最後までやり遂げたんだからね。
She went through her entire performance even though her injury still hadn't fully healed.
疲れが抜けきらなくても当然だよ。
It's only natural for her to be tired.
もっとも、まさか終わった後に倒れて気を失っちゃうとまでは思ってなかったけどさ。
Of course, I didn't expect her to drop like a rock after she finished.
熱出して寝込んじゃったんだよね。
She had a fever and she was falling asleep.
お家に一人ぼっちでいても大丈夫かな。
Is it really okay for her to be staying home alone? Alone?
まあ、心配っちゃ心配だけどね。
Well, that's a valid concern.
とはいえ、監督もおとなしく休ませてあげるのが一番の薬だって言ってたし、大丈夫でしょ。
But Coach says the best medicine is a good rest, so she'll probably be okay.
あんまり構いすぎると、かえってリカちゃんが気にしちゃうかもしれないしさ。
But if you worry too much, then Rika-chan might start to worry as well.
そうだよね。
Yeah, that's right. How...
なあ、ミオ。
Hey, Mion?
何ケイちゃん
What's up, Ki-chan?
あ、いや、なんでもない。
Never mind. It's nothing. I swallowed my words and turned away from Mion, who went, question mark, as she tilted her head, then let out a sigh. After all, there is something wrong. Oh shit, I hit the button on accident. After all, there's something wrong. After the performance, Rika-chan told us she wasn't that tired, and she did the Watanagashi ritual at the river with us, right? This conversation between Mion and Rina clearly didn't line up my memory of the night.
でも疲れて眠そうにしているケイチくんかわいいよ
But tired and sleepy Ketchikun is so cute.
レナが優しく癒してあげるから
Anyway, I seriously had no idea what was going to happen last night. And more than that, to me, the events of the night were so unbelievable that it seriously felt like a dream. Rika-chan! Rika-chan! I did my best to come to my senses as an unforeseen development appeared right before my eyes. Rika-chan just fell into the swamp? I carefully checked my footing to make sure that I wouldn't fall as well, then clung to the tree right next to me and looked down with the aid of my flashlight. I could tell by the slight reflection on the surface of the water that this was rather high up. Even if she landed in the water, there's no way a child falling from up here would come out unscathed. Rika-chan! I hurried down the path leading down the mountain slope. I had to consider the possibility that I'd run into the enemies who were chasing Tomatake-san, but Rika-chan's safety was far more important. I ran. I just kept running. A stench rose up from the depths of my throat as I exhaled, and my arms and legs were already covered in cuts from all the stones and branches I brushed against along the way. But my legs didn't stop. There was no way I could. I watched the ground at my feet with a flashlight and scraped through the forested area that could no longer be called a path, while worst-case scenarios ran through my head. What if something really did happen to Rika-chan? What if we lost the one and only thing we swore to protect? Even after all our strong feelings, wishes, and constant effort to open a path to a happy future, it's all for nothing. We vowed to overcome any challenges and fight the almighty enemies awaiting us. We swore we'd grab hold of that happiness together. So, if even one of us is missing, if Rika-chan isn't there, then it's not a happy future at all. And yet, despite that, I couldn't accept that she would just fall like this. It was utterly unbelievable. So God, if you really are there, please hear my request. Please, please let Rika-chan be safe. I don't mind giving my life in exchange. Please, God, please give Rika-chan back to us. Before long, I wasn't quite sure where I ran to get here, but somehow I managed to reach the swamp, and I slowly inched closer. The surrounding area did indeed show signs of other people nearby. If I didn't know that Tomatake-san was being chased, I probably would have disregarded it, thinking it was just an animal or something. They were probably getting away with concealing their breathing, but if they decided to change targets, they might capture me to silence me. But I had no time to be thinking of them. I resolutely stepped into the swamp in order to confirm whether Rika-chan was safe or not. Then I aimed my flashlight left and right, carefully examining anything floating on the water surface. Rika-chan! Rika-chan! Rika-chan, are you alright? Please answer me. The surrounding area was enveloped in tranquil silence. Couldn't even hear the faintest sound, so I focused all my attention into my ears. But there was no reply. And couldn't see any shadows or silhouettes on the surface of the faintly shining water. My whole body was fiercely shaking, trembling with fear and despair. Hey, that can't be true. Is this truly an end? No way. It can't be. Nevertheless, nothing will ever happen if I just linger here. I should still make every possible effort, even if it may ultimately be all for naught, right? As I told myself that, I came to a decision. For now, it'd be best to gather additional manpower to search the swamp, So, I rushed down the mountain path again. I'm certain that the shack where Rika-chan and Satoko live is close to here. The festival's already over, so there's no point heading back to the shrine. I could call Mion at the Sonozaki house and call the village elders. I need to notify them right away. I kept on running, and my legs felt heavy. My heart was pulsing so intensely that it felt like it was about to fly out of my chest. Just then... Maybe it was because of my painfully heavy breathing, but my field of view got all distorted. I could no longer sense the ground at my feet. I lost my balance and got thrown forward. Couldn't grab hold of anything, so I tumbled down the slope. Shit. Nevertheless, I tried to put my feet down and reached both my hands out toward the trunk of a tree in the hopes of grabbing on. The shock of that impact ran through my entire body, but somehow I'd successfully escaped my tumbling predicament. Huh? I ignored the pain and my breathing grew more relieved as I raised my head to look down the hill. Up ahead, a small shack with a rusted roof was clearly visible in the moonlight. I was gasping for breath, but I finally reached the shack. This is where Rika-chan and Satoko live, a small shack on the outskirts of the Furue Shrine grounds. And there's a phone here, so I should be able to get in touch with people faster than if I had gone directly to Mion's place. Anyway, I need to contact Mion and the mayor as soon as possible so we can search the swamp together. That's all that matters. I fought off the exhaustion and fatigue to maintain consciousness as I opened the front door, went up the stairs, and entered the room. But just then... What? Just then, I saw something unbelievable. Somehow, it was the person I was desperately searching for until just a moment ago. It was Rika-chan. She got up from the futon in the middle of the room and had a completely vacant look out on her face. Keiichi?
Rika-chan?
Rika-chan.
本当に Rika-chan なんだよな
Is that really you, Rika-chan? Me.
よかったよかった
Thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness.
無事だったんだな Rika-chan
You're safe, Rika-chan. My astonishment gradually transformed into relief and then to joy. Without even thinking, I ran over to Rika-chan and embraced her little body. Huh? Her body is so warm. And more importantly, she's not wet at all? Keiichi? That hurts.
ごめん
Oh, sorry. I realized I'd gotten carried away with my excitement and was holding her too tight, so I apologized while backing off. Rika-chan's body was illuminated by the moonlight entering the room. There was no scratches on her arms, and her clothes weren't dirty at all. For a moment, I thought that maybe she had changed her clothes, but those are definitely the same clothes that she was wearing earlier. I examined myself once more. My clothes were muddy, my arms and legs were covered in cuts, and my body was drenched in a mix of dirt, sand, and sweat. Or at least, that should have been the case. And yet, my clothes and skin didn't look all that dirty, and the countless bloody scratches that were there earlier had suddenly vanished. Furthermore, Rika-chan didn't have a speck of dirt on her, as if she was home the whole time. What on earth is going on here?
Rika-chan
Rika-chan.
本当に Rika-chan なんだよな
Is that really you, Rika-chan?
他の誰かに見えるのですか?
Me? Do you see anyone else here? And of course, it wasn't just her appearance, but also her manner of speaking. This was the Rika-chan I knew so well.
でもどうして
But why?
さっきまで俺たち山道を走ってそして
Just a little while ago, we were running down the mountain trail, and...
確かに僕はあなたと一緒に富岳を追って山に入ったのです。
That's right. You and I went to the mountains together, chasing after Tomitake.
そこで僕は
And then I... Suddenly, Rika-chan was craning her neck like she was trying to recall a distant memory, but the next moment her face twisted like she was in pain, and she crouched down while clinging to her head. When I saw that, I thought maybe she had hit her head when she fell down the cliff, so I rushed to her side. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Are you hurt? No. But all of a sudden, the inside of my head feels muddy. Rika-chan. I'll wait here. I'll contact the coach. I'm alright. As I got up to call the clinic, Rika-chan grabbed my arm and held it tight, while panting with an agonized look on her face. Then... I'm feeling better now. Rika-chan. She was sweating so hard that her bangs stuck to her little forehead, but Rika-chan brought her breathing under control and gave me a reassuring smile. Are you sure you're okay? It's probably better to have the coach check you out. I'm fine. Thank you. Keiichi. What's up? After calling out her name, Rika-chan looked like she had thought of something and turned her gaze down while grabbing at the clothes on her chest. The silence continued for a while longer. And then, when I noticed the wistful, sad, tear-filled look in her eyes, I was just about to open my mouth and ask her why, but that moment... If I wasn't me, would you still be by my side? Or be on my side? Rika-chan, what are you talking about? Please answer me, Keiichi. Is it really okay for me to be one of your friends? Isn't it obvious? Even though I was still confused, I answered her confidently. I told you before, didn't I? Rina, Mion, Shion, Satoko, and even you, Rika-chan. You're all my precious friends. And I'm certain everyone else feels the same way about you. Just like when you wish for Rina and Satoko and everyone to be happy. Keiichi. Really, I'm glad you're safe. Rika-chan, if anything had happened to you, no amount of regret would be enough. I don't know how you ended up back here safely, but maybe God answered my prayer. Bah! Is that so? Maybe that feeling is what brought me back here. Huh? Then... that moment. Rika-chan and I both jumped when we suddenly heard a high-pitched ringing sound. It was coming from the phone right beside me. Who would be calling at this hour? Keiichi? It was hard to imagine who it might be, so Rika-chan and I stood there for a while, wondering if we should answer. Yeah. Still, I felt suspicious as the sound continued to fill the air, so we nodded at one another, then I held my hand out to pick up the receiver, and slowly moved it toward my ear.
もしもし
Hello?
リカちゃん
Oh, we're back. We're going back. It's so jarring when it goes back to speed.
言わずもがなの
君ならなるほどね。
ところで赤坂
It's like we're reading for like a large chunk and then it just goes BAM! Snaps back to speed. By the way, Kasuka-san, are your wife and daughter okay with this?
ああ、大丈夫だよ。
Yeah, they're fine.
みゆきは疲れて眠ってしまったが、妻には事情をかいつまんで話しておいた。
Miyuki got tired and fell asleep, but I explained the situation to my wife.
愛知の方から信頼できる刑事さんが警護役のために駆けつけてくれたし、
A trustworthy
心配するようなことは何もないよ。
A trustworthy detective from Aichi Prefecture rushed over to protect them, so they have nothing to worry about.
ありがとうございます赤坂さん
Thanks, Kasuka-san. He was willing to give up his entire family vacation to support Rika-chan, so I was really thankful for his kindness.
むしろ、リカちゃん、君の方こそ大丈夫かい？
More importantly, Rika-chan, are you doing alright?
さっき入江先生から熱を出して寝込んでいるって聞いたんだけど。
I heard from Dr. Irie earlier that you were home sleeping with a high fever. Huh?
僕はお熱なんて出していませんですよ
I don't feel feverish at all.
全然平気なのですニパ
I'm totally fine, Nippa!
確かに元気そうに見えるね。
Yeah, you certainly look like you're feeling okay.
でも無理はしないでくれよ。
But don't overdo it, alright?
ーに了解なのです
Me, roger that. I wonder about that. Maybe it's just my imagination, but there was a strange feeling nagging at my heart. Then, we entered the clinic. The coach was there dressed in plain clothes, and Oishi-san was there too for some reason.
佐藤
まあ確かにリカさんはもう心配ないようですね。
Well, Rika-san, you do look like you're doing alright.
やっぱり過労からの一時的な発熱だったんでしょうな。
Guess it really was just a temporary fever from overexertion. No!
み
Me? Rika-chan looked back at me as she heard that and dubiously tilted her head. Was Rika-chan sleeping with a fever? As far as I know, that shouldn't be the case. And she herself seemed confused when she heard Akasuka-san and Oishi-san express that worry. What did that mean?
ただ今晩に限っては少々自重をお願いしたいところです。
I'd like to request that you stay cautious, just for tonight.
フルで
いえ、
そろそろ私は戻ってもよろしいでしょうか
Maybe it would be best to get this over with soon.
リカさんと前原さんももう遅いですから面会は手短にお願いしますね
It's awfully late for Rika-san and Maibara-san to be out, so please keep this visit brief.
特にリカさんは病み上がりなんですからあまり無理はなさらずに
Rika-san in particular is sick, so it might be best not to overdo it.
おやどちらに
Oh, where are you heading?
わたどう
よろ
この先
は
実はさっき聞いた話なんですが。
Actually, I heard a story recently.
赤す
どうだ？
よもう黙っていても無駄なのですよ
There's no point in keeping quiet about it, Irie.
この赤坂は警視庁の公安の人間です
Akasuka is from public security at the Metropolitan Police Department.
そしてこのひなみ沢に関してもつい最近までかなり深いところまで調べていたそうなのです
He's been deeply investigating matters in Hinamizawa recently.
入江機関のことももちろん
And of course, that includes the Irie Institute.
秘密警
いえ、そう、だから。
そして
私の
いや
そのあたりは見ない警部のおかげですよ。
You can thank Chief Inspector Minai for that.
彼女のおかげで鑑識の一人の現地を取ることができたのですから。
Oh yeah, he's talking about. It's all thanks to her that we were able to get reputable information from our forensic investigator.
ねえこっちから目撃情報を先に提供していたらやっこさんたちは絶対に時間を調整して報告してきたでしょうな。
Right. They received word from us about the eyewitness accounts. I'm sure those bastards would have altered the time in their reports.
それってまさか
No way. Are you telling me?
それ
い
たとえ冗談でも
僕が死ねばひなみ沢の人たち全員が被害妄想に取りつかれて錯乱し、あるいは殺し合う。
If I die, all the residents of Hinamizawa will go insane and may even kill each other.
鬼の血を引く末裔たちの村の終焉としてはこれ以上ないフィナーレなのです。
What a perfect ending for people who are descended from demons, huh?
緊急措置
Emergency measures?
初耳なのですよ。
That's the first I've heard of this.
それが適用されると何か起こるのですか？
What happens with that?
それも初耳なのです。
I've never heard of that either.
私もあまり
高野と山犬が僕を殺すというのはあり得ることですか？
Do you think it's possible for Takano and the mountain dogs to kill me?
いりえ、
Irie?
それでもなお高野が僕を殺すとしたらどんな動機が考えられますですか？
Even so, supposing Takano wanted to kill me, can you think of a motive for doing so?
でもいり
But Irie,
え、前に一度言っていましたね。
you told me once before.
ひなみ沢症候群は確か3年以内で撲滅する計画になっていると。
Hinamizawa syndrome is supposed to be eradicated within 3 years.
撲滅というのは症候群を滅ぼしてしまうこと。
In other words, you're going to destroy the disease.
研究を続けたい彼女の情熱にとってそれはどうなのでしょう。
What does Takano think about that?
それは
Well,
つまり高野はもっと研究を続けたいのにひなみ沢症候群は3年以内に撲滅されてしまい高野は研究対象を失ってしまうということなのですか？
so what you're saying is that Takano wants to continue her research, but Hinamizawa syndrome is going to be eradicated within 3 years. So Takano is going to lose the subject of her research, isn't she?
そう
どうせ終わらせられてしまう研究なら最後に盛大にひっくり返してやりたいという考え方はどうですか？
If it's all going to end anyway, then maybe she wants to shake things up.
でも入江も高野の性分は知っているはずなのです。
But you know how she is.
あいつならやりかねない。あいつなら僕を殺しかねないという可能性は本当にありませんですか？
She would do it. She would kill me if she wanted to. Don't you think?
そんな恐ろしいこと
どう思いますですか？ケイチ。
What do you think, Keiichi?
どうしてこの時期に高野は実行しようと考えたのでしょうか？
Why would Takano decide to take action at this specific time?
だからどういうことですか？
Then, what are you saying? Huh?
権力
アルファベットもちろん私はひなみ沢へは名目上休暇として訪れています。
And of course, I'm visiting Inamizawa on a normal personal vacation.
さらに
He
付
has
け
to
加え
establish his vacationing.
あなたの開発した治療薬のノウハウは外資系企業に高値で横流しされていたようですね。
And furthermore, information about the therapeutic medicine development here, developed here has been sold to foreign companies at high prices.
もっとも
So then again, we learned in the advanced arcs.
東京地検の特捜部が調査中との
Advanced arcs detail. Although the details of that are still being investigated by the Tokyo District Prosecutor's Special Research Department.
そんなバカな
That's absurd.
おそらく富武二郎はこれを発見した。
Jiro Tomotake most likely discovered this.
そして高野美代がどちらかに深く関わっていることを知り彼女を説得しようとして逆に消された。
And knowing how deeply Mio Takano is involved with one of these factions, he probably tried to persuade her. It was consequently illuminated.
ただでさえプロジェクト停止で落ち込んでいた高野美代はどう思うか。
What do you think of the idea that Miyotaka was depressed simply because the project was being halted?
それに
赤坂。
多分
大将その
大石
Is this the Oishi? Obviously, it was going fast, but is this Oishi being like, "Ah, I can't risk losing my retirement pension thing"? Oishi,
あなたのことを
I will
僕
permit
が
it.
許してあげるのです。
I will permit it.
あなたが冷静で落ち着きある選択をしようとも、勇敢で男らしい選択をしようとも、
No matter if you decide calmly or courageously,
僕はあなたを称えましょう。
I will praise you.
それがあなたの悩み抜いた選択である限り。
As long as your decision was made well.
臆病な私に時間を許してくれてありがとう。
Will Oishi still be my ally? Will he help me? Maybe I should have said something else. I've seen all the long, hard, and painful but fun days in Oishi's life since I was born. So, I understand. Even if you've been pursuing something for many years, it takes a lot of courage to give up something precious to reach it. That's right. I never would have been able to reach this point if I didn't have Kichi and Akasuka standing beside me, encouraging me.
入江先生、
Dr. Irie?
教えて。そう。
そのみおにそれをな
身を隠すためにはみんなの力がきっと役に立つと思うぞ。
But even so, I still couldn't wipe away my unease. Things are going well so far, but...
みんな信じてくれますでしょうか。
Do you think everyone will believe me?
実際に今晩犠牲者と行方不明になっている人がいる。
The truth is, there are victims of missing people as of tonight.
それに
ところで、ただわけあってし。
Yawn. Akasuka went back to Tokyo to investigate the relationship between this Tokyo organization and the people supporting Takano-san.
今日は
Yeah, the Mountain Dogs are always here, but not today. They must have received urgent orders from headquarters. He carried Rika to the exam room next door so she could rest there. In fact, despite how shaken up he was last night, he hadn't noticed. Thanks to that, he completely forgot to report to Okanogi and the others that Rika was here.
それにしても
Anyway,
そうか。いいですよ。
サトシ君は
oh,
どこ？
gunshot. I remember this. I remember this moment. Lost item.
お疲れさん。みんな祭りの大仕事の翌日にすまんの。
Yeah, thanks all your hard work. Sorry about what a big chore this is the day after the festival.
おや、これは結構な代物。
I mean, I'm trying to think. We've now been at this for 2 hours. I would say, I'm trying to remember exactly. I don't think we're that far away from the ending of Miotsukushi. Like, I'm just trying to remember. The different, like, parts. Did I push my luck and try to go one more section? Why not? One more. If we start having to read a lot, then we'll probably break in the middle of this. We won't get the cleanest, break, but we'll survive. It began from a simple desire to cause some mischief.
あれなんだ
ただそう
時々出る行方不明者の中に
そんな
聡子のことを
Irie and Shion.
わかりました。
次
足元に気をつけて。
まず
Yeah, I remember all this. Yeah, it's the Satoshi.
でもこの部屋に入って彼と会えば、き
Yeah.
っとあなたは後悔する。
Yup. A gunshot roared out, and Irie staggered in place. A bullet fired to intimidate him grazed his right arm, and fresh blood came oozing from the wound. A line of red blood came trailing down, but Irie didn't show any hesitation. He stared straight at Shion and stood directly in front of the muzzle. Keiichi! That's true, but it's because of Hinamizawa syndrome.
ひなみざわ症候群にかかった人は周りのすべての人が自分に敵意を向けていると思い込んでしまいます。
People affected with Hinamizawa syndrome perceive everyone around them as an enemy.
ちょっとした言動、仕草にも疑い、邪推し、不安を抱いて。
Even seemingly trivial words or actions will make them feel doubt and groundless suspicion, filling them with insecurity.
自分を防衛しようと思うあまりに攻撃的な感情になってしまうのですよ。
It leads to aggressive emotions driving one to self-defense.
でも、シオン。
But, Shion.
あなたの言うように、サトコは悪くありませんのです。
What you said is true. It's not Satoko's fault.
あの子はとても優しくて、甘えん坊で、それが病気のせいで、間違った方向に行ってしまっただけ。
She's a sweet, gentle girl who was merely pushed in the wrong direction by this disease.
それは僕も、この入江も分かっていることなのです。
Irie and I both understand that.
そして、彼、
そんな、私、どうか、私は本当にダメな人間ですわ。
I truly am an awful human being.
だけど、そんな私をこんなにも優しく、力強く励ましてくれるみんながいる。
But despite that, there are people willing to give me strong, kind-hearted encouragement.
そして、みんなと同じように、監督もこんな私をいつも元気づけてくださったり、心配してくださいました。
And just like everyone else, the coach has always been worried about me and doing his best to cheer me up.
みんなが私のことを思いやってくださっていたのだから、私もその優しさを疑ったりしない。
Everyone is being considerate of me, so I have no reason to doubt their kindness.
仲間も、監督も、
My friends, the coach,
そしてシオンさん、私のネーネーも。
and you too, Shion-san. You're my Nini. Oh, Nini.
それで、
ネーネーがいます。
Nene, Nini. The crying sound effect just kept going after it. All right, we hit a new section. I'll go until we'll hit skip, and then once it goes to a red dialogue line, we'll save and we'll call it a night. So until it gets interrupted. When he heard the story, he felt totally lost. After all, he thought retirement pay was something precious. Oh. However, Oishi ultimately came to a decision. The final push came from something he heard from Yamaoki yesterday concerning Tomoe's case. Oh, it's bringing up, okay. I see why that would be different. Okay. Let's just save there. Cool. All right, we'll pick this back up on Saturday. We'll continue the Omote fast forward edition speed reading section. Again, my memory kind of sucks, but I don't think we're like, especially at this pace, like I don't think we're that far away from like here we get where like Oishi is like, you know what, fuck retirement, you know, pension pay, I need to do this kind of thing. And then I'm trying to think like we get close to like the final showdown pretty soon after this, if I'm remembering correctly. There might be a part like I'm skipping in my head, but like they kind of I kind of go in. Once Oishi is like, yeah, I'll do it. It's kind of like they just go. I'm probably forgetting a certain section. We'll see. We'll see on Saturday when we pick this back up. Tomorrow's stream, Wednesday night. Fingers crossed. Pinky swear. 50-50. That we don't start super late tomorrow and we actually start at a decent time and we get a good chunk of Silk Song in. That should be fun. I've been itching to play Silk Song. That's why I almost squeezed in like an hour tonight, but I'm starting to feel, as you can hear, sniffly, and I'm tired as hell. I'm going off of pretty little sleep from the last couple of nights, so hopefully I can get even a bit more sleep. So, again, if you're watching these fast-forwarded parts, you're a fucking sicko just like me, experiencing just the small little differences in each, in this version of Miotsukushi compared to the PS2 version. Only true sickos are experiencing this with me at this point. I don't know anyone who is actually going to be wanting to watch this the way I'm doing it, barely reading some lines, just fast-forwarding, but if you're watching, I appreciate it. I hope you're having fun. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Have a great Wednesday, middle of the week. I'll be back tomorrow with Silk Song. So, until then.